Hello, hello, and welcome to Manifesting with Ari Mac. I'm your host, spiritual coach Ari Mac. I don't predict the future, I help you plan it. And this whole channel is about your connecting with yourself and creating that positive vibration so you can have whatever you like. Now, I use astrology, affirmations, and aromatherapy to deduce my information. And I got a little tea today because we're talking about Aries energy, and Aries is not messing around with you. They're just not. So I want to get really comfortable because we're going to be talking about the first zodiac sign in the whole bunch, Aries. Okay, it's ruled by an animal, the ram. It's ruled by the planet Mars. Okay, it is the god of war. In coordinates, I'm wearing red today with my new red lipstick. Okay, they actually rule the face and the top part, the brain, the skull. Yeah, that's what they rule. So if you're new to this channel, okay, definitely like, subscribe, and leave a positive comment if you're feeling this information. Because when I'm talking about astrology, I'm talking from a spiritual point. So the energy that I see is not necessarily based on other people's interpretation because each astrologer has their own thing. Now, I happen to love Aries. It is a fire sign. It's part of the fire sign trilogy. There's a Leo, Sag, and then Aries. It's the first in the zodiac sign. But they're also usually the pioneers. Aries like to be first. Okay. On the high end, they can be great leaders, great heroines, that sort of thing. On the low side, very domineering, overbearing, and selfish. And somehow they will always make the situation about them. That's in the low form. Okay. Now, in the high form, they can run kingdoms because they love action, you see. So they like being in the thick of things. And with what I'm seeing from astrology, we have a lot of fire going on. Saturn is still in Aries, Neptune's in Aries, the sun's in Aries. Pisces and Mars is still in Mercury. So that's still, we got that Pisces Aries thinking happening, but that Aries on top of it gives way for you to start getting in your own head. Yeah. You need to think about what's sabotaging me or what am I allowing to sabotage me? Because at some point, guys, the common factor in why you're not successful is you. At some point, everything else settles and it comes down to you and your choices. Now, since we're in Aries, I really want to emphasize getting in your own head, thinking about what you're trying to do and the struggles that you've been consistently like living with for your whole existence. That's not normal either. Mm. It becomes a mentality, though. Becomes a mentality because after a while we get used to not having, so we think that's normal. So when we see people who have, we think that they are better than us or they somehow are connected or just have better luck, whatever. We come up with excuses so we don't have to deal with we've made some poor choices. And trust me, I understand we have backgrounds we have to come through, psychological. I'm about the spiritual development. That's where I play, guy, because if your spirit is strong and your mind is clear, nothing can stand in your way because you won't let it. You simply won't let it. And how I know it's because I see the manifestation all the time. I see when, even with myself, when I'm ready to go do something and how I set those things into motion and it happens because I'm ready, I'm clear, I'm focused. See, manifestation is about the arrangement of being ready. And if you know energy is coming towards you, then you know you need to open up doors to allow that energy to come in. Correct? Just give me a thumbs up if I'm making sense, even if you see this on the rebroadcast. Because if you don't change your mindset, but you keep affirming that every time a shift happens or every time something new comes up and you get unhinged and start becoming unraveled, you're not ready for what you're asking for. Yeah. Hmm. Hmm. Because you're praying for something or you're meditating on something, focusing energy. Let's put it like that, focusing energy. Yet every time a shift happens, which you know when you pray for change, you have to be ready for those mechanisms, right? Right, Missy Vat? Because that change is going to shift away from what a belief system or something you've held true. It could be just something that you personally just have come to understand that's the way that it is. And trust me, guys, it is a bitch when you have to opening up to maybe a new thinking. Maybe you learned something wrong. Maybe the person that taught you learned something wrong. Who knows? Or maybe just things are outdated and we have progression and you have other opportunities. Whatever the case is, you got to go into this noggin over here and ask yourself, am I really ready for change or am I just saying that? Because every time something comes up, I'm having a nervous breakdown. I'm completely falling apart. That can't be a coincidence. That means there's some more healing that needs to take place there. And healing, guys, that's why you got to get into self. That's what we're talking about, this Aries energy, not playing with you. That means you got to deal with your own bullshit. Yep. Now, that's not the fun part of life. Just for the record, this is one of those got to go into third gear, fifth gear, and just coast along and do as you best you can and keep yourself focused and try not to show your ass too much. Because at some point, you got to cut that habit out or come to some sort of peace that that's just a mechanism that you do. Because you can't keep saying you don't know because it keeps happening to you. If something happens to you more than 3 or 4 times, then there's something in you that you need to look at as to why am I allowing that energy? What am I doing to have that come toward me? Now, that's what knowing myself. Now, look, I don't predict the future. I help you plan it. I've been a spiritual life coach for over 15 years, and my clients move, but they have faith. They have faith in themselves. They have faith that they want better, and they do the work because it is work, guys. You got to put in your spiritual elbow grease, okay, for manifestation to be complete. And I know I can tell you how to do it. I can coach you through the whole thing from top to bottom. I've seen people that were on social benefits and now running their own corporations. Okay. I've seen people lose houses and still end up in beautiful, beautiful places. You understand? I've had people that have been told they could not have children that did. So it goes into a whole deeper level on what you believe in and what you want to receive. Because there's always going to be some doo doo. There's always going to be some doo doo out there, guaranteed. And usually it comes in the form of, are you sure? Well, I don't know. Because, takes a great spirit to see a great spirit. And I find that a lot of times good people, they don't know sometimes when to say enough, having that boundary. Well, taking care of yourself is that boundary. That's the boundary. That's the boundary. See, because Mars is a cardinal planet, so is Aries. And cardinal means they don't stop, like a cartwheel continues to go. You can do cartwheels forever. That's what cardinal means. It's only 4 signs in the zodiac that have cardinal in them. Aries happens to be one of them. The other one happens to be Libra. The other one also is Cancer, and then Capricorn. So it's one from each element that are cardinal. And they're usually a little bit like neurotic. They got to do something, they got to keep moving, or they don't know what to do it themselves. Mhm. And when you know that about yourself, right? Like when you come to some comfortable conclusions about how your mentals work, you can flow with your energy. You can flow with it. You won't be so upset all the time and frustrated all the time and just making yourself unnecessarily fucking nuts. I have this case right now where my client runs a daycare and she has a child in there that just keeps vomiting and he has some medical issues, true, but he can't eat and he's not resting and he's just So we did some energy work on him, some prayers on him. And what I came to the conclusion was that nobody, I think he's like 8 months old, nobody's really spending time with this baby so he can learn how to eat. I know that sounds like everybody should know how to feed a child, but that's, kids don't come with manuals, just so you know. There's no book. They don't even show you the DNA, unless I guess you can ask for it now. But basically, they give you the little thing and send you home. And even the best parents, educated, went to school, even studied shit, may not know how to handle certain aspects of their child. And that's just me giving the benefit of the doubt to decent people. I know there's people that are not decent, and we're not going to talk about that. Okay. So, anyway, these are decent parents, but I think they're exhausted. They just moved, blah, blah, blah. Life's in progress. So we did a little session, did a meditation for her to tune in to what she needs to do. And it's just about teaching him how to receive food. I know that sounds like it should be obvious, and it should be obvious under normal circumstances, but he has something in his esophagus or something that's prohibiting him from being able to have too much of anything. So he has to do things slow. Everything has to be soft. Well, you know what? That could be a pain in the ass. If you've ever had any tooth issues, anything dealing with the mouth, and you have to eat, ask somebody that has had that. It is a mother, okay? Because you can't eat and you need to eat, and now imagine being a little 8-month-old little being that can't even speak for yourself. So we came up with some new stuff, and we asked the family to do a food diary so that she can mimic whatever that they give him at home. That is the best case scenario you can do when you're trying to work with energy that is not 100% yours, but you want a positive resolution, because this child, unfortunately, is disturbing other children because he's uncomfortable and he's probably not eating enough, which means his brain's not developing, which means he is completely out of his freaking mind. Okay, that's what I'm talking about. She had to get into her head to think about how to help this child. And that's what good people do. They just work it out. They figure out, how do I make this work in a loving way? When it's too stressful, guys, it is not the best time to make a decision. Just for the record, when you're losing your shit and you know that you're not going to be able to say or do something constructive, and you know the outcome's going to be horrible because you can feel the horribleness coming from your own self, leave it alone if you can. Go to the bathroom, take a break, go outside, smoke a cigarette, whatever you do, just go take a break, try to regroup, try to breathe, and then give yourself a reset. Okay, give yourself a reset. Flip that button on and off, whatever it is you got to do. Because this Aries energy is going to have you tested on a psychological level because you're dealing with self. And you may have people that may not see you the same way you see yourself, mainly in the workplace. Because I think in other areas you can choose going to the store, going to the gym, those are all voluntary. But work and family sometimes are just, you inherit them, right? And that's just the way it goes. You don't pick who's born into your family, who marries into it, or who's there when you got there. And at work, you're there for business. You came there to make money. It's not a place for socializing. It should be decent, but hey, there's no guarantee. Okay, that's the kind of energy that you have to deal with this Aries, is people that you have to interact with that maybe you don't always have to see eye to eye. Maybe you guys have different perspective, different religions, different politics. Who fucking knows? Bottom line is, you have to figure out a way to find that balance, because that's what that space requires. It is not a place for the other stuff, because that's not why you're there. You're there to make money, you're there to do business, and hopefully do it in a polite way. Now, with this Aries being in Saturn and in Neptune and in the Sun, you're going to test that, because you're going to be picking up on more energy, because it's also making us sensitive with that Pisces, Mercury Pisces, Mars Pisces. Now, I have some dates that I want to give you in a little bit, because why I'm doing this is so you understand what's going to be going on energetically for the next couple of weeks. How you stop it or how you deal with it is not overthinking, spending time in prayers, in meditations, in places where you can find sanctuary. Does that make sense? And I guess the biggest thing that Aries challenges you to do is to stop doubting yourself. And that's a big one. because something may be going on within you that you haven't healed from, something that is still a trauma to you on some level, something that prohibits you from accepting your good because somehow you push it away. I mean, think about it. When somebody gives you a compliment, do you say thank you or, oh, this old thing, oh no? Or do you accept the compliment? Just observe that. If somebody is offering you something genuinely out of their heart, do you know how to accept it? Now, with this Aries energy, here's a couple of major recommendations. Do something to spruce up your look. Okay. If you're a guy, get a haircut, get a new style, go to a new stylist, get a new work shirt, get a new pair of shoes, do something to spruce up your physical energy because Aries rules physical too. Okay. Maybe go for a longer walk or a hike if that's available to you. We're lucky to have beaches here in Los Angeles. So I'm very fortunate that I get to go out to the water and just sit by the water, and that relaxes me. It really brings a tranquil peace to my soul. But what do you do to relax your being, to find a way to connect with yourself without losing yourself? Think about that. Because during this period, you're going to be offered opportunities to go and take care of that. Yeah. Even if it's just driving to a park in your local area and sitting quietly, of course, where it's safe, and just absorbing the sky, the breeze, the grass, just the elements that are around you. But these are my recommendation. Now, to go deeper, I'd have to look at your chart because everybody has a natal chart that gives me an idea, like a skeleton, like an X-ray for a skeleton, of what you came down here to do, who you are, your strengths, your weaknesses, maybe a lesson that you need to learn. But mostly it gives you choice. Mostly gives you choice. Natal charts give you that click, that little picture of what you started with, like the energy you came down with, and then you got to move from there. Now, I've created a program called The Gap, the Guided Astrology Program, and it's $29.99 a month. It's only $9.99 right now because we're doing an intro. But what you get in that is my weekly in-depth insight to what's going on, both energetically, okay, with astrology and the elements, but also some affirmations and some aromatherapy suggestions. I also have a very unique feature of the best days for you for astrology. Now, this is important because if you are planning stuff and you have big meetings coming up and or, opportunities for presentations, it's important to know which day gives you the most optimum strength from the heavens above. And that's one of the gifts that astrology does give you. There are certain times that are optimum. Go for it. Knock yourself out. Be about it. And then there's other days when you need to just chill, take it as it comes, and don't show your ass. Okay? In the report, I give you your best days. I may include the worst days, but I'm not negative, but we'll see. Mm. But bottom line is, this information is available to you. Now, I also have a candle company. And Candles by Ari has been around since 99. I started the company in 99. I was in my 20s when I started it. And one of the fragrances, one of the colors we created was the red currant candle. Now, this is not labeled. This is the 8 ounce. But let me tell you something about this candle. When I created this, one of my clients was going through a lot of situations where she needed courage, a lot of courage. And red currant is actually a scent from India that has this peppery note with a little hit of Aries in it to me. And let me tell you something, with the formulas that I created, this has been one of my best sellers of all time. And we got that on special this month at Candles by Ari. It's, I think it's a 12 ounce or a 16 ounce. Don't quote me on that. That's on sale. Normally it's $34.99 or something. It's on sale for $24.99. I think. Don't quote me on that. I know I should know my own prices, but we've been doing updates. So, bottom line is, on these candles, not only did I create a sense that works, but also have affirmations that I created for my clients over the years that they've come back and told me they've been very successful. So, not only do you get a fragrance and a color that pops and gives you courage, but you also get an affirmation on the candle that you can use 24/7. And let me tell you something, that's true power. That's true power because that's reaching out to hold on to something, especially when you're going through the challenge of thinking negatively and possibly saying some really negative uh, stuff out loud. You speak it into existence, guys. You say it enough times that you don't have, the universe hears you and says, okay, then let's make it so you don't have. So go to candlesbyari.com. Okay. It's got so much chuck full of information. If you want to do a one-on-one session with me, you can do it there as well. I would suggest joining the GAP, the Guide Astrology program, for the $9.99 intro. And if it doesn't work for you, cancel it. It's only $29.99 a month after that. But let me just say, the information and the inside stuff that we do is really important for your psyche. It's like having a support team that's there if you need them. That's what it's like. Because you don't know how much distress you're in until you talk to somebody and realize how much shit you're holding in, you know? So, mm. Okay, so I'm going to give you some dates because we got to say some dates for this month. Happy April. Okay. So, of course, we're live here. Please share and like and subscribe to this channel. I would greatly appreciate it. Okay. Because we're growing and I want you guys to be a part of it. And you probably know one or two people that could use a positive, uplifting insight. So, please share. Okay. So, then we have mindful guided meditation twice this month. We're going to do it on the 12th and on the 26th. And they're both going to be at 3 o'clock. These are Sundays. Sundays, 3 o'clock Zoom. So it's Pacific Standard Time, West Coast. So wherever you are, factor that in. Okay. On Wednesday, April 15th, we're going to do a day prayer circle. It's absolutely free. It's going to be about a half an hour, maybe 20 minutes, and nobody talks. We put everything through the chat and basically we pray for whatever it is you're asking for. And it's something about when you pray as a group. I pray every single day. I have weekly prayer groups already, but it's something about when you consistently do that, you start seeing manifestation. It's absolutely free to you. You just have to register. They may ask for a credit card, but it's not to be charged. Just as something I can't get past in the system that I'm working with right now. But you will not be charged for the day prayer circle registration. Just FYI. Okay, then I'm going to be doing a color and fragrance class. Now, this is going to be free to all of my GAP members and people that have already registered with me in the past. This is just my give back, okay? Because I feel like if you understand the colors and fragrances, they are on my website, but I'm going to break them down even more so you can kind of, not kind of, so you can learn what power colors and power fragrances may be able to help you attain your goals. Now, that's absolutely free to people that are registered with the GAP. They automatically get grandfathered in. So if you're not registered with GAP, I would do that for $9.99 at the intro because then you get access to a free program or a free seminar that could help you. Just saying, that's a good economical position in my personal. Now, I did put the links in the description below. So definitely like, follow, and share on that one. And grab your free astrology report for April while you're there. Yeah, because I mean, I have free reports. I'm working on another Mercury report. Mercury reports are harder because I'm doing so many charts, you guys, that I'm factoring in so many things sometimes that just sitting on one Mercury is, it's a little discipline thing that I haven't mastered, obviously, but I am working on the report. It's coming down, but I'm also writing a book and I'm also doing content on a day to day and meeting with you guys and, setting up all kinds of stuff, but that's okay. It's okay. It's all good because I keep hearing everything's going to be all right. Just keep moving forward. And that's what I'm asking you to do. Keep moving forward. With this Aries energy, more than anything else, trust your first instinct. It has no reason to lie to you. Now, I know that's difficult because you may not have any proof, but it's there to protect you from being in a harmful situation, to be emotionally battered, or psychologically taunted. I mean, who the hell wants to be tortured? So don't go toward the fire. Leave that shit alone. Mm-mm. And finally, guys, if you are dealing with a lot of challenges, reach out to someone who you can trust, clergy, close family, friend. Don't sit in your poo poo because you start making shit up. Okay? Because then you're not eating right. which means you're not sleeping right, which means you're constipated, not only emotionally, but every which way, then you start thinking crazy shit. Then you start making things up. Then everybody's against you. I mean, everybody, even the pizza guy leaves your pizza in the wrong place. You know what I'm saying? Don't let the darkness take a hold of you. Yes, we have a lot of negativity. Yeah, people are going to say what they're going to say. They have a right to their opinion. But here's the deal: as long as they're respectful and you don't feel like it's coming towards you, they can keep their negative energy to themselves. You understand? Do not let it consume you. Do not let it come towards you. And don't be the brunt of unnecessary bullshit. That you can control. That's a free will choice. Mm. But you have to want to do it. I'm doing chamomile tea today with some honey. And I put turmeric and pepper, black pepper in mine because turmeric is activated with black pepper because I'm trying to make sure I'm doing as much flushing as possible in my system. Just because my sinus has been acting up, I don't like to take a lot of decongestants. It's only when I absolutely completely have to. But I'm monitoring it because my sinuses kickstart my, nasal, then, allergies, and then could turn into a cold and flu. So I have to watch the respiratory. So the number one thing is to drink a lot of hot teas, honeys, waters, and things like that to keep flushing everything out of your system. So that's what I'm doing today. Ooh. So between now and next week, if you could just try to slow down and think, but like just listen to that first impression, like it has absolutely no reason to lie to you, like none whatsoever. And if you could just slow it down and take a listen, and if you need help, like I said, reach out to clergy members, reach out to family. You can reach out through my website, candlesbyari.com. All right, because we are growing. And I want people that are listening, the end users, which is you, who hears my voice, to know that you're not alone. Okay? I don't predict the future, I help you plan it. Everybody has a divine design, everyone. It's just your choice on how to use it or not. But don't think you're left out in the cold. Don't believe that you can't do better. That's the first sign of going down the negative tunnel. And it is a deep, deep, deep tunnel. It could take you all the way till it breaks you down to nothing, which is what negative energy enjoys. Mhm. Ever been around somebody that they're not happy and they can't be happy for you, like genuinely happy for you? So by the time you end up talking to them, it's just putrid. I had a friend once, and we've been friends for like 5, 6 years. And I was doing radio stuff. I was getting into the radio scene, and I was doing interviews and that sort of thing. And he just started talking madness to me about how radio was dead and nobody listened to the radio anymore. And I was just like, why are you saying this to me? And he's like, I just want you to know that I don't want you to spend your time and da 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 da. And I was like, okay. But the way he was talking to me was so condescending and egotistical and just narcissistic. And I just finally told him, thank you, I understand. And he just kept talking. I didn't say anything else because there was nothing else to say. I thank you and I understand. Ooh. But I think because I wasn't responding to his words, because to me it was just his opinion, and it was an awful opinion because, and I told him at the end of it, I did say to him, you kind of hurt my feelings here because you're making it sound like the work I'm doing isn't shit. He said, oh no, that's not what I meant. I said, but that's exactly what you said. Well, you misinterpreted. I said, no, I think you're lying. And he finally was like, even if I am, who cares? Well, is he my friend anymore? Hell no. You don't need no friend to stab you in the back and calling himself friend. That's that leaving dumb shit alone. Okay, it's like one of my family members came to my door and haven't seen him in a long time, and he's just knocking on the door like I should just let him in. Why? Why would I let a stranger in? I don't know you. You haven't spoken to me in decades. So what's up? And they were shocked as they're like, "Oh, open the door." I'm not saying don't be trustworthy, but if somebody's coming at you in a sinister way, if you just are honest with yourself, you can feel it. You can feel something's not quite right. And that's your intuition saying, warning, warning, warning. Don't let this ombre get too close. Don't put your guard down too far. You know what I mean? It's the universe giving you a heads up. Now we got to take the notes. We got to be a part of the active solution. Now, I teach classes. I do one-on-ones. I'm doing this podcast. I'm putting up content on a regular basis. Please like, follow, share, and become a part of the ecosystem of positive energy flowing through us. Because that's what we are. Because peace is priceless, you guys. Peace is priceless. And if you've ever lost peace or had to give up stuff to deal with people that were unsavory, you know how hard it is. You know how challenging it is because you know you were done wrong. You know it was wrong. And that's where the beautiful of prayer is that if you can stay in your calmness, divine justice will be served. It always is, especially if you didn't evoke it. And that's where greed it's never enough for them. It's just never, ever, ever enough. Because all they want to do is be miserable or somebody come in and save them. And they think if they get enough money, everybody will do whatever. Okay. Look, all I know is your soul is priceless. Your spiritual, mental well being, hey, that's all when you're in your hands. If you're listening to this live or rebroadcast, then you know that spirit is trying to tell you something. It's not a coincidence. There are no accidents in the universe, only opportunities. Now, my question is, what opportunities are you going to take advantage of? When are you going to stand up and say, okay, I'm ready? Now, I can make suggestions and I can coach you through it, but you have to be ready to do the work. Now, I would start with going to Candles by Ari and getting some of that free information that's available. And while you're at it, you may want to grab yourself one of these red courage candles because mm, 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 let's just say it puts you in a different mindset because fragrance is so powerful. That's why I want to talk about the fragrance and color class on the 25th of this month because it's important to remind ourselves of the basics, right? Just the basics so that we don't start thinking like we can't do it or it's bigger than us. They used to say you can't sue City Hall. Bullshit. You can't. They used to say a lot of things, which is bullshit because you can't. It just goes back to you. And with this Aries energy, because Aries energy is not playing with you, you have a chance to start new by getting in your own head. And Aries, if you have a goal, if you have something that you've been working on, please put it to the forefront. Put it right front and center in your life and go for it. Because this energy is giving you the focus to discipline. And you have the talent if you could discipline yourself. Okay, Aries? Because you guys don't just get inspired. You are the pioneers. You make things happen when it's in a good regard. When you're in your low regard, you're just assholes. That's all I can say. You're selfish twits. And everything's about you. And it gets draining after a while. It just gets draining. So I say this because energetically, we all need to grow. We all need to change. We all need to get better. How do we do that? Is these steps right here that we go through on the day to day. Now, I'm live every Thursday here, 2 o'clock Pacific Standard Time. Okay. And I am putting up some positive information. I will be doing some longer content because I do want to show you guys about some cooking things, some gardening things that I've been trying to do. Now, I'm not no wizard at it, but I'm going to attempt this weekend to do some gardening. And I also want to try a viral recipe that's a chicken soup with no water. Yeah. I'm curious. You don't add any water, but you use vegetables that have a lot of water in them, such as carrots, celery, leeks, cabbage, onion. Those all have tons and tons of flavor. And when you boil the chicken in its natural juices, I'm just curious to see what it looks like. So I may tape that this weekend and put that up here on the YouTube. Because for some reason, my action when it comes to food, you guys like seeing me out there. So give me a minute. Give me a minute. It's the lighting and the camera stuff that I'm gonna bring more help in on, which I am. I am. My daughter is always usually pretty good about helping me, but she's been in school, so I lost my helper. But they're always new help. So And you never know. I live in Los Angeles. It's a bunch of creative people. Bottom line, I'm here. Okay. And the energy is real, guys. The universe is starting anew, starting with you today, right now. So, what are you affirming to? What is your affirmation? When somebody says you look pretty, do you just say thank you? Or do you come up with something else? Remember, I don't predict the future, I help you plan it. And Spirit does have a plan for you. But you have to walk in that plan. You have to own that plan. You have to be ready to receive and manage that plan. Because when you pray for the rain, you have to deal with the mud. It's a part of the process. So don't overthink it. But if change is happening and it just looks different and you're a little unsettled, pray on it. Affirm for what you're asking for. And if it happens to correspond with what you're asking for, then you need to be more of gratitude because you're conjuring that energy up. Your affirmations and your prayers are being heard. That's a good thing, right? Right. And when in doubt, guys, just let it marry. Just give things a minute to sort themselves out and just to breathe. Hey, Nye, how you doing today? My little lioness. I hope all is well from you. But this energy, you guys, this is about transforming on the inside first. So let's do this. Let's think about our meditations. Let's think about what we're asking for, what we're praying on, what we're meditating on, okay, what we're chanting on. And then look around to see what shifts are happening in the universe. Like what's presenting itself to you? What's a little different? And go toward that change, especially if it's something positive that you want. Okay, I'll give you a quick example. One of my clients has a very stressful job. She deals with a lot of assholes, and I think we can all relate to that. But her job description did not fit what she was doing. She had just kind of evolved as her bosses got gobbled up, and you know how that goes. So they were putting unnecessary stress on her, and it was driving her nuts. But she continued to pray on it. She continued to ask for guidance. And then another position opened up. Now, this position had a clear definition of what it was and what it entailed, which fit more in her lifestyle and gave her clear definitions. Well, guess what, you guys? She got that position. That's like 50, 60% of her stress gone. Probably even more after she masters the basic mundane things that are required for the new job. Now, it was a lateral move, but for her, huge piece, huge piece, huge piece. Because peace is priceless. Now her mind can be free to open up to other things she wants to do. That was her blessing. They couldn't fire her, she couldn't quit. But Spirit opened up a door to make it neutral where she would be fine till she gets ready to do what she needs to do next. Guys, that's considered a blessing. That's considered a win. So just think about that. What does a W look like to you? Yeah? Do you know when you're being victorious? Just saying. So let's make a deal. Save the dates. Uh, Weekly here, 2 o'clock. Mindful guided meditation. Okay, you can register your Candace Bar for any of this. It's going to be on the 12th and the 26th of this month. We got day prayer circle. Okay, that's going to be on April 15th, 3 o'clock Pacific Standard. Oh, excuse me. Day prayer circle. Day prayer circle will be at 12 o'clock noon. You have to register. It may ask for your credit card. I cannot get around that. It will not be charged. Okay, it's just so we can get you registered and get the email out to you before it starts. And of course, we're going to have the candle of the month, Red Courage Candle, at Candles by Ari. And let me just say the affirmation on that one, delish, delish. Okay. And a color and fragrance class. That'll be on the 25th, which is a Saturday, also at 3 p.m. I'm doing that for fun. If you're a member of the Gap group, you're automatically vested or automatically got a free ticket. If you're not, I suggest you register for the Gap. Normally it's $29.99. It's right now on sale for entry price of $9.99, which means by joining the Gap, which gives you your weekly updates, insight, and best dates, You also get a free pass to the color and fragrance class on the 25th. So this Aries energy is not playing with you. So don't play with yourself. First intuition is correct. When in doubt, hush. Do something to spruce this up. Stop overthinking. Okay. And the number one thing is working on doubting yourself. You have to stop second guessing yourself. And I can help you with that. So contact me, DM me, email me, hit me up. Okay. If you have any questions, and set up a one on one session, or just grab the gap because it's close to what I do, but it's more broader for you to get started. All right. And can you just remember that you're blessed? Just remember that. All right. And I will see you guys next week. Bye.